There are moments in life that, at first glance, appear to be just part of the everyday flow. Yet, in hindsight, you come to understand that was the pivotal moment when it all started. At the age of 61, Marshall was a gentle soul, devoted to nurturing those he held dear. When he welcomed his cherished nephew Eric into our home, I could never have foreseen the profound transformation that awaited me. Marshall's serious expression remains vivid in my memory as he shared with me, "Lorraine, Eric is a sensitive boy. It's well known that he struggles to find rest when the sun goes down. Make sure to look after him, all right? He must gather his thoughts and prepare himself before embarking on the journey of university life." Who could have predicted that the long-awaited call about the house would finally come, and that Marshall would head off for 3 days to explore it, leaving me to navigate this time alone with Eric? At the age of 20, Eric had stepped into a new chapter of his life, leaving behind the innocence of youth. His towering stature, sturdy build, and seasoned look conveyed that unmistakably. Yet to Marshall, he remained simply his beloved little nephew. For me, there was always a peculiar warmth and a subtle thrill whenever Eric was near. Despite my efforts to hold it back, there was an undeniable essence in the way we connected. Yet, the idea of spending 3 days alone with him stirred a mix of anticipation and unease within me. As Marshall slipped into the car, he cast a final glance back at me. "In the blink of an eye, 3 days will pass," he remarked. But I had no idea that those 3 days would utterly transform my reality. Eric approached me with a subtle grace, shifting the strap of his bag on his shoulder as he drew nearer. As our gazes locked, he flashed that familiar blend of playful charm and genuine warmth that was so uniquely his. "It seems we're alone together now," he remarked, his tone easy, yet carrying a profound weight. In that instant, an unusual thrill coursed through me. Eric had journeyed through life, evolving into a more refined version of himself. Yet, spending time just the two of us, this was a whole new experience. That night unfolded in ways I could never have imagined. Yet, there is an undeniable truth. That night remains etched in my memory. That was the moment everything started to unfold. And that's how it all begins. Stay tuned, for this is a narrative that will genuinely astonish you. As the morning light danced through the windows, I found myself immersed in the art of breakfast preparation in the kitchen. Once Marshall departed, an unusual calm enveloped the house, creating an atmosphere of serene tranquility. Yet, the quiet was fleeting. The soft echo of footsteps on the stairs hinted that Eric had finally risen from his slumber. He stood in the doorway, dressed in a laid-back t-shirt, his hair tousled just enough to hint at a carefree spirit. He appeared both inviting and effortlessly captivating. "Good morning, Lorraine," he said, his voice weaving a gentle melody. Our gazes locked, and a subtle smile danced across his lips. "The aroma in this place is simply delightful. What tales are you weaving?" Before I could say anything, he stepped closer, gently resting his hand on my waist and leaning in just a bit. "It smells delightful," he remarked, his voice light-hearted, yet sincerely inviting. The sudden brush caught me off guard, yet it was surprisingly delightful. It had an oddly familiar essence. "It was merely a classic breakfast," I remarked, attempting to steady my voice to conceal the quiver within. "Would you like to hear more?" "I'll eat whatever you make," he said, his gaze lingering on me with a hint of curiosity. In that instant, it seemed as though he had transcended the confines of the kitchen. His attention was solely on me. As we gathered around the breakfast table, an unspoken connection seemed to draw us closer together. Eric spoke in his usual relaxed manner, yet this time there was a distinct depth to his words. "You know, Lorraine, there's something captivating about you, even at this stage in your life," he remarked unexpectedly. His words struck me with such clarity and surprise that I found myself pausing, the fork resting on the table. "Honestly, you stand out as the most captivating individual in my uncle's presence." "Eric, you really shouldn't say things like that," I remarked with a gentle laugh, even as I felt a warm blush creep across my cheeks. "I appreciate your input, but it seems like you're stretching the truth a bit." "I'm not exaggerating," he remarked, his gaze lingering on me with intent. "If I were in my uncle's shoes, I would make sure to keep you company every moment." Words escaped me in that moment. In a moment of urgency, I sprang to my feet and began collecting the empty plates, eager to shift the focus away from the conversation. Eric reclined in his chair, his eyes fixed intently on me. His gaze followed my every subtle shift, a fervor in his eyes that quickened my heartbeat. "Out of the blue," he exclaimed, "we ought to celebrate," shattering the stillness around us. "My uncle shared that you're in the process of purchasing the house. It would be a missed opportunity not to honor that moment." "It's not finalized yet," I said, a subtle smile creeping onto my lips. "Absolutely. We can gather and rejoice. How about we embark on an adventure tonight? Just the two of us," he suggested. "It would be wonderful to put on something special, something that makes you feel great. We'll capture moments and share them with Uncle. We'll let him know to stay away until he's secured the house. Our celebrations have already begun. How does that resonate with you, Eric? I hope you understand, but..." In that moment, I found myself pausing, caught in a web of uncertainty. Without a moment's pause, he urged, his voice bright yet resolute. "In your youth, you possess a remarkable presence that captivates all around you. Slip into one of those cherished dresses from your younger days. Honestly, I'm intrigued to imagine how you'd appear in one. Before this tale unfolds even more, be sure to subscribe to my channel and activate notifications for additional updates. And when the tale concludes, remember to express your appreciation through likes and comments. It holds immense significance for me." His words took me by surprise, weaving an unexpected tale in my mind. Yet, with Eric's unwavering and heartfelt gaze fixed upon me, I found myself unable to utter anything except, "Very well. The evening will reveal all." Eric grinned, a spark of intrigue lighting up his eyes. "It will be just right, Lorraine," he said. A sparkle in his gaze suggested an evening filled with extraordinary tales. Marshall's words about caring for Eric resonated deeply within me. "He's a boy with a deep soul, Lorraine," he'd said. "Ensure he is well looked after. He has some things to sort out before embarking on his college journey." However, Eric's actions this morning seemed to contradict Marshall's portrayal of him as a caring child. He carried an air of ease, playfulness, and daring. His energy enveloped me in a whirlwind of intrigue and unexpected thrill. The idea of celebrating tonight danced in my mind, weaving tales of what the evening could hold. Initially, I thought it was superfluous, but I came to understand that I couldn't disappoint him. Perhaps he was worthy of a unique kind of recognition. I crafted a feast of Eric's beloved meals. Once upon a time, there was a delightful feast featuring chicken curry, creamy pasta, and a vibrant fresh herb salad. On the side, I included some garlic bread. As the aroma of the food filled the air, I made my way upstairs to choose the perfect outfit. In my wardrobe, a forgotten green dress emerged, a relic from years past waiting to be rediscovered. As I donned it, my gaze met the mirror, revealing a tale waiting to unfold. As I slipped into the dress, a wave of nostalgia washed over me. It was a reminder of moments past, a testament to the care I had taken along the way. However, it does come across as somewhat daring. As I made my way downstairs, I found Eric already settled in the living room. He donned a crisp white shirt, and I found myself captivated by the way his eyes seemed to hold on to me, weaving an unspoken narrative between us. He remarked how that dress looked absolutely stunning on you. His tone revealed a deep sense of admiration. A warm blush crept across my cheeks. "Thanks a lot, Eric." I remarked that you were looking quite sharp yourself. With a warm smile, he graciously drew out a chair, inviting me to take a seat at the table. Our dinner chat was filled with warmth and connection. Eric had a clever sense of humor and a genuine heart. Yet, the way his gaze held onto me just a moment too long stirred a mix of discomfort and an unexpected sense of flattery within me. The atmosphere was charged with an unspoken energy. This evening held the promise of something extraordinary. As Eric settled at the table, he leaned in just a bit, his voice rich and personal. "Grateful for this evening, Lorraine. Everything is a captivating tale waiting to be shared." Yet, he believed there was potential for it to reach new heights, to become even more thrilling. His gaze met mine, and in that moment, there was an indescribable depth in his expression. A yearning? A longing? His words and tone spun a web of confusion around me, leaving me at a loss for how to reply. A warm flush crept up my cheeks as I struggled to maintain a shaky smile. Seeing my discomfort, Eric flashed a smile, trying to ease the tension in the air. Out of the blue, he exclaimed, "Let's call Uncle," as he fished his phone from his pocket. In an instant, he appeared behind my chair, his hands gently placed on my shoulders. His touch radiated warmth, sending a delightful shiver through me and quickening the rhythm of my heart. His breath, whispering near my ear, felt almost like a presence. As Marshall's face lit up the screen, Eric's voice burst forth with a lively enthusiasm. "Uncle, the festivities have already begun," he said. He directed the camera towards the table, revealing the elegantly arranged meal. In that moment, it dawned on me that I was part of the scene as well, with Eric positioned just behind me, his hands resting on my shoulders, his face mere inches from mine. Marshall laughed, his voice brimming with joy. "So you're suggesting I should hold off on returning until I've secured the house, is that right?" "Exactly," Eric replied, drawing a bit nearer to me as if sharing a secret meant only for us. His fingers grazed gently over my shoulders, a whisper of touch that lingered in the air. I felt the urge to retreat from the lens, yet I couldn't bear to dampen Marshall's joy. Okay, Marshall chuckled. "I'll explore the house and return as quickly as possible. Continue to relish your time together." As Eric ended the call, I released a heavy sigh, yet it did little to soothe the tempest of feelings raging within me. Memories of Eric's past visits flooded my mind, each one tinged with a playful charm that made him both intriguing and lovable. Yet, on this occasion, he had changed. His audacity and charisma were undeniable, igniting emotions within me that I struggled to comprehend. I couldn't help but draw parallels between this and my relationship with Marshall. How much time had passed since he truly noticed me, focused on me? Recently, he seemed consumed by his job, and I couldn't help but feel like I was fading into the background. And now, with just a few moments of Eric's attention, I felt a profound longing for the warmth of being desired, acknowledged, and truly vibrant. Engrossed in my own reflections, I was unaware of Eric rising until he shifted to the corner of the living room. He linked his phone to the speaker and let a gentle, romantic melody fill the air. In the soft glow, I observed him as he faced me, his demeanor steady yet resolute. As he moved nearer, his hand reached out towards me. "Lorraine, might you join me on the dance floor?" His voice carried a softness that wrapped around you, yet it held a compelling power that drew you in. His request took me by surprise, and I felt my heart race in my chest. "Eric, do you really believe that?" I inquired, my voice scarcely rising above a murmur. With a warm smile, he inched his hand a bit nearer. "I have no doubt. It's merely a dance, Lorraine. Isn't it time we embraced a bit of joy this evening?" In that instant, the chaos swirling in my thoughts and the storm raging in my heart transformed into something completely new. Eric's hand reached out to me, and I found it impossible to turn away. As I intertwined my fingers with his, a flicker of electricity surged through me the instant his warmth enveloped my skin. With a soft touch, Eric led me to the heart of the living room. One hand gently embraced my waist, while the other cradled mine with tenderness. As he turned off the lights, the room was enveloped in a soft darkness, illuminated solely by the gentle flicker of the candles he had placed on the table. The soft glow flickered throughout the space, creating an enchanting ambiance that felt otherworldly. The music video on the screen created a captivating atmosphere, drawing us deeper into the experience. As we stepped onto the floor, the rhythm took hold of us, and we lost ourselves in the movement. As Eric's grip on my waist grew firmer, I felt the rhythm of my heart quicken with each step we took together. As I turned my head to meet his eyes, I found his gaze fixed on me, brimming with intensity and resolve. That gaze, it opened a chapter deep inside me, stirring emotions I never knew existed. As we journeyed side by side, the distance that once separated us began to dissolve. As Eric leaned in, his breath whispered against my skin, creating a moment filled with unspoken tales. The proximity deepened the allure of what we shouldn't have. In that moment, all the barriers I believed I had fell away completely. As we moved to the rhythm, Eric bent closer, his words a gentle murmur just for me. "Your spirit is alive with passion and longing, Lorraine. Your eyes reveal a longing to break free from the dull routine, if only for a fleeting moment. Yet, you remain unaware. The yearning of that young woman within you shines brightly, ensuring you remain eternally youthful." His tone was soft, yet imbued with a certainty that resonated deeply within me. His words unleashed a torrent of thrill and disorder within me. My heart pounded, and my breaths became shallow. I found myself struggling against the feelings he was stirring within me. Yet I could feel myself succumbing. "Eric, what tales are you weaving around me?" Your words are awakening feelings I've worked tirelessly to keep hidden. Please don't, I whispered, my voice quivering and almost lost in the silence. Yet I found it impossible to refute. I was eager to uncover the truth he had shared. Eric took a brief moment, his gaze fixed on me, as if he were trying to unravel a tale hidden within my eyes. Yet there exists a truth about you that remains hidden, he murmured gently, his tone unwavering yet rich with significance. My gaze, as if drawn by an unseen force, remained locked onto his. What reality, Eric? Share with me, I urged, my voice trembling as the overwhelming tension between us reached its climax. Eric's gaze remained fixed, unwavering and intent. There's something special about you, Lorraine. My feelings for you run deep. But the genuine reality is, it's time to stop holding back these emotions. For ages, you've kept yourself closed off, concealing the emotions that dwell within you. But it's time to pause, he said, his voice infused with a blend of fervor and warmth. His words ignited a tempest within me. I found myself at a loss for words. My lips parted slightly, yet silence enveloped me. My breath caught in my throat, and all I could manage to say was, Eric, how? My voice floated softly, barely a breath in the air. Yet I could no longer ignore the emotions stirring within me. In that instant, I felt a mix of fear and an intense desire for the experience to linger on. Eric held my gaze, the silence stretching between us like a taut string, waiting for a story to unfold. In a sudden shift, he drew nearer. In a heartbeat, his expression bridged the distance that lay between us. As his lips met mine, a spark surged through me, igniting a warmth that spread like wildfire. The moment sparked a surge of emotions I hadn't expected. A culmination of emotions that had been held back for far too long. My heart raced with such intensity, it seemed ready to leap from my chest. As our lips met, I found myself yielding entirely, allowing the fire to envelop my being. Eric momentarily parted his lips, his breath coming in heavy whispers as he said, "Just like that, I knew you were drawn to me." His words flowed with such assurance that when he kissed me again, the idea of pushing him away never even entered my thoughts. This moment held a profound depth, an intensity that enveloped them both. As I drew nearer, my hands found their place on his shoulders, seeking stability in the moment. His boldness and determination left me in awe, while the enchantment of the moment captivated my heart. Indeed, I can no longer hide the truth. I have come to terms with it. My voice was a mere whisper, yet it intensified the tension that hung in the air between us. Regardless of the consequences, I yearned to embrace every moment. With a deep breath, I smoothed the fabric of my dress, adjusting it with care. The silk fabric flowed gently, evoking memories from a time long past. Eric's eyes sparkled with surprise and admiration as he absorbed the scene before him. I met his astonished look with a subtle smile and remarked, "Didn't you mention that you preferred things to progress swiftly, Eric?" Eric paused. His gaze locked onto mine. His expression was a canvas of unexpected emotions, blending intrigue and longing. "Lorraine," he whispered. But just as he began to speak, his hands gently settled on my waist. At that instant, we understood that we had crossed a point of no return. The connection we shared was impossible to ignore. Eric gently guided me toward the couch, his demeanor warm and inviting. The enchanting melodies lingered in the air while the soft glow of the light wrapped the scene in a captivating embrace. My heart raced as the world around me transformed into something almost dreamlike, yet I embraced the experience wholeheartedly. Eric removed his jacket with a casual ease, placing it to the side. In that instant, all the walls that once stood between us crumbled away. As I leaned back on the couch, Eric sat beside me, his presence calm yet attentive. He settled in with intention, his knees framing me, bridging the gap that lay between us. We sat close enough to feel the quiet stillness between us. My gaze met his, captivated by the fierce longing and unwavering resolve that flickered in their depths. His presence brought with it a comforting sense of closeness. As he leaned in, a quiet excitement stirred within me. "Are you prepared for an adventure?" he murmured, his voice hushed and charged with emotion. His gaze locked onto mine, brimming with a mix of desire and conviction, as if he were marking the start of an irreversible journey. As I gazed at him, my lips slightly parted, and I took a moment to steady my breath. My heart raced wildly, my mind a whirlwind. Yet I found myself completely captivated by the sheer intensity of the moment. "Yeah," I whispered, letting the thrill in my voice shine through. In that moment, a spark ignited within me, and I sensed that a transformation was on the horizon, with no chance of retreat. Eric's energy and excitement grew as the evening unfolded. In that instant, I was absolutely convinced he preferred to keep things brief. As everything began to accelerate, my body instinctively took over, moving without my conscious thought. My legs, which had slipped from my mind, began to shake and tighten, and then Eric's gaze met mine. He flashed me a grin and exclaimed how fast this is, his excitement palpable. In that moment, he gently reached out and adjusted my hair, as if weaving a tale of care and connection. As the final notes faded away and a new rhythm began, my anticipation soared to new heights. Eric was soaked with perspiration, and I was too. It was as if I had been transported back to the vibrant days of my 25th year. The deeper I delved into my youthful memories, the more my excitement ignited. Eric pressed on with unwavering determination, maintaining his brisk tempo. He had a softness about him, a quiet understanding, as if he possessed an innate sense of what I sought. At that moment, he paused, and we exchanged our positions. I found myself perched above, gazing directly into Eric's eyes. I began to pick up the pace. Eric was panting, and I could sense the quiver in his voice as he exclaimed, "I'm even more amazed by your energy at this moment." And then his entire being began to tremble, and he finally surrendered to the moment. I extended my hand and took hold of his. "Come on," I urged softly. "Let's settle in for the night." Eric rose with a deliberate calmness, then strolled alongside me to the bedroom. As we entered that softly illuminated space, a serene and tranquil atmosphere enveloped us like a warm embrace. We settled in side by side on the bed, ready to share our thoughts and experiences. With a gentle embrace, Eric drew me nearer, his arm encircling my waist. I leaned against him, listening to the rhythmic pulse of his heart. In that instant, all else seemed to fade into the distance. My heart was set on the warmth of being right there next to him. As I felt the weight of sleep approaching, my mind wandered to the thought of Marshall's return. There are still 2 more days ahead for just Eric and me. The idea ignited a spark within me, yet it also brought forth a whirlwind of emotions. Yet, I was reluctant to disrupt the enchantment of this experience. I inhaled deeply and let my eyelids fall shut. It seemed as though the entire universe was unfolding around us. And this instant was all that truly counted. I can't wait to share the adventures of the other 2 days we had. But for now, I want to fully embrace this moment. Make sure you stay tuned because this tale is far from over. Keep your ears open for what's coming next. If you've come this far, I can tell my tales have resonated with you profoundly. There are countless tales waiting to be unveiled, and you certainly won't want to overlook any of them. So be sure to hit that follow button, enable notifications, and share your thoughts about this tale.